From the Queen of Swing to a feature on Captiva Island.
I set my mind into being a boxer because I'm a fighter. All my life I've been fighting.
To a critically acclaimed documentary right here in Fort Myers.
Over the years, you learn to enjoy each part of that production.
John Bafar has worked on dozens of productions over the years, several of them based right here on the Gulf Coast.
I think that the people really just want to see a good story.
He's a storyteller at heart.
I just consider myself lucky to be able to do what I do and sometimes get paid for it.
These animals!
A passion he shares with the people you'll see on stage this year at the 97th Annual Academy Awards. As Hollywood preps for the biggest night of the year, he's preparing to showcase one of his latest projects to the filmmaking community.
We just finished a film here locally called Worth the Fight, and it's about a man who started a gym to help kids from various backgrounds and kind of save their lives.
That man?
I've been the founder, the president of SJC Boxing Club for many, many years.
Is Steve Canton.
Well, mainly the film itself portrays and follows various kids that came into my gym with severe problems.
If he looks familiar,
Steve Canton runs the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame.
We've had drug addicts, we've had alcoholics, we've had all kinds of problem kids.
You may remember him from 2023, when we took you inside his gym. It's a program designed to keep troubled teens on the right path in Fort Myers. Bafar took notice and decided to document its impact.
John Bafar did a fabulous job as producer of the movie in portraying these kids and following them for a period of time from training, competition, and afterwards.
It's called Worth the Fight.
We have a world premiere in New York for coming up here soon.
Just one example of the Gulf Coast shining bright in the world of cinema, and the future looks even brighter.
What I expect this year are folks who are coming from Los Angeles, folks who are coming from Hollywood, folks who are coming from Canada, New York, and from around the world.
Eric Raditz is leading the Fort Myers Film Festival into its 15th year later this spring. He's met a lot of filmmakers over the years because of this festival.
What do you think it's like to be a filmmaker here in Southwest Florida these days?
It's tough being a filmmaker in town because the state doesn't really have any incentives.
I checked with the Florida Department of Revenue. Their website says, in part, that productions in Florida may be eligible for an exemption from sales and use tax if you're buying or leasing certain items used for production in the state. That's not nearly as significant as the 20% base transferable tax credit offered to productions just across the border in Georgia.
There are cities in Florida that are offering small percentages, 6-7% to film there. But so to get it done, you need more than just a lobbyist.
While the financial incentive may not be as great in our state,
I think filmmaking is really more about blooming where you're planted, whether it's Florida or Kansas or wherever.
Bafar tells me it's that passion of creativity that drives him to keep telling stories here on the Gulf Coast.
Living and working in Southwest Florida is great, and I happen to make a living as a filmmaker, but I think it has less to do about where I live than, the passion of wanting to get a film made.